mismanaged expectations. So let's talk about that for a moment. We are working with sellers. We are trying to get to a point where the sellers like us, respect us, list with us, position their home properly in the marketplace so that it will sell, and we meet with success for them and for us. It's awesome. So with expectations, let me share something with you. I am a student of psychology. I love it. And my take on this is that I have never seen a problem or issue occur between two people, whether that be a seller and an agent, your buyer, any of your clients, other agents, could be spouse, partner, kids, I don't care who it is. It could be countries, for goodness sakes. It could be anyone. If there is a problem with a relationship, it always starts with the fact that somebody has an expectation that was not met. So let's take that into the 6 deadly pricing mistakes, and let's talk about how this happens. So let's say that we have this seller who they have to have $450,000 for their home. Now, we all know why that is. It doesn't matter what state in the United States or what country in the world they're from. Pretty much sellers are the same. If they want this much money for their home, they want it because, well, hey, Jackie, we have this much money in it, and we put, we paid this, then we put this in it. And by the way, we just put a $10,000 countertop on our kitchen. So we want the whole $10,000 back. And so we've got all this money in it. And then we're going to pay a commission. And so if we don't get this much, we're going to lose money, and we don't want to lose money. There's one reason. Another reason, hey, our neighbor got $450 for his house. Do you know how much nicer ours is than his? Oh my gosh. So at $450, we are giving it away. Or, look, Jackie, we are wanting to move over to this different school district and different neighborhood. It's just wonderful. It's this community with all this community stuff. And the house is going to be $700,000-ish. So for us to go there, we have to get $450 out of this. Like if we can't get $450 out of our house, then we can't afford to go there. Or Zillow said that our Zestimate is $450,000. I don't care what the reason is. There's only a handful of them, and sellers are all the same. It's like one of those things happen. And you know what? We go in to talk to them, and they want $450. Now, we did our research before we arrived, and we found out that while they want $450, oh my gosh, that house isn't going to sell for a penny. Over $410, $415, even in a market that's getting multiples, and it won't appraise for more than that. We have no market evidence to support anything like that. None. And yet they want it. And you know what? It's a good market. Maybe there's low inventory in this price point. I want listings. I want the buyers to call me, so I go ahead and take it. Now, the minute I take that at $450, I have set an expectation for this seller, and that expectation is, if they put it on the market at $450, do you know what they expect? $450. That's what they expect. So now we've got this $450. Let's make it even worse. Let's do wow. We know people like people who make them feel good about themselves, right? And so I go in and I love this house. I mean, the job they did in the kitchen is beautiful. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fabulous. This huge island and stuff. It is just what buyers are looking for today. I love this house. You've done a fabulous job. I'm going to be so proud to put my sign in the yard tonight. Now, what I've done there is really great because they like me, because I made them feel good about themselves. But the other thing I did was I pushed their expectations up to where now they expect to get $450, and they expect to get it in, 2 to 3 days would be good. A week, they're going to start worrying because I pumped those expectations. But let's say I take it. They were friends of mine or family, or maybe they were a referral from friends or family, or, hey, I mean, who wants to give a listing that'll never sell to your competitor? Heck no, we want to keep those for ourselves. So we take it at the $450. And the reality of it is they end up getting $406,000 for their home. So here's their expectation. Here's their reality, $406,000, 3, 4, 5 months later. Now, what we have to understand is that between here and here, expectation and reality, there is that gap. And in that gap is just like a funnel cloud of negative emotions that's swirling around. I mean, they've got TMJ, and they've got migraine headaches, and they've got insomnia, they've got heart palpitations, and it's all the realtor's fault. It's all headed toward us. So my job is to help you throughout this process of the 6 deadly pricing mistakes to bring their expectation closer to the market reality in a way they still like and respect you. Now, let me say that again. We want to bring their expectation closer to market reality in a way that they still like you. Because isn't it one of our bigger fears that if we have a seller who has an expectation that is not in line with the marketplace, and we tell them the truth about the market, that they won't like us and they won't list with us. They will list with some agent who comes in and doesn't tell them the reality and just takes it. That's a fear. But I will tell you this, if they have this expectation and this is their reality, even if we ultimately sell it, we will not get their repeat business or the referrals. It's not worth that. So what we want to do is learn through just a whole plethora of strategies and psychology, dialogues and systems of how to help them go from here to here. We want to take the burden off of you and help them come to conclusions on their own. Mismanage expectations. So we will go on to talk about Zillow and how to talk about Zillow with the sellers so that they like you and don't think that, well, she just doesn't like Zillow's price because she wants to give our house away and make money. No, we don't want them going there. So we'll show you how to deal with the Zillow mistake. We'll show you how to deal with the fact that words create expectations. Oh my gosh. One of the words that I have changed that I just love is we use the term active listings for those listings that are on the market competing with a seller today, right? Active listings. That's what the MLS calls it. I don't have to call it that. Because really, if you think about it, the word active suggests activity. Houses that are overpriced and have been sitting on the market aren't getting the activity. They're not getting a lot of flow to their showings and activity. So I stopped calling them actives a long time ago. And I call that list of properties that are competing with the seller unsold properties. It gives a much more realistic take that Mr. and Mrs. Seller, these are the unsold properties. These are the sellers who are trying to sell, who are competing with you, rather than calling them active, because active sounds like they've got a ton of activity. There's going to be all kinds of words like that in here that we'll do. So we'll take off on this expectation, talking about Zillow, talking about how we as agents unintentionally pump up the expectation of the seller and how to manage that. Every single one of our mistakes, we will learn what the mistake is, and I guarantee everyone who is taking this has made each of these mistakes over and over again. I won't just point out the mistake. I will tell you how to fix it, how to have a new strategy in place that will make your life so much easier. See, here's what we want. We want to list more homes that will sell and the sellers love us afterwards so that we continue to get repeat business and referrals. So let's manage those expectations and manage them well, really, really well.